We are going to be discussing how we can use Pinterest in 2025 to find your personal style. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sabs and I love all things fashion and handbags. I hope you all had a safe and cozy holiday season and I wish you all a happy new year. I personally had a very low-key and relaxing time with family and friends this year and I am so ready for the new year. So here we are kicking 2025 off with a new style inspiration video. This one is a little bit different because I really wanted to share my personal experience of finding my style and how I think I can help you guys find your style or pinpoint the parts of your personal style that need development, while also avoiding falling victim to overconsumption and feeling trapped in this never-ending cycle of comparing ourselves to others. Pinterest is honestly one of the best ways to explore new fashion trends. However, through this experience, you could also be exposed to a whole lot of new temptations that you never felt the need for in the past, and thus could easily fall into a pattern of impulse shopping, especially in this era of fast fashion and micro trends. I categorize this video into 8 specific areas that we are going to be discussing today. And the first one is just start saving pins. Adding lots of items to your saved pins is essentially like building a huge database of style. Then once you feel like you have an adequate number of saved pins, you scroll through and you look through all the items that you saved and you try to look for a pattern of repetition. In my case, I realized that I was saving a lot of the same items in various outfits on different people, but the important part is once you pinpoint the item that you're seeing a lot, you kind of recognize the pattern and you realize maybe that's the item that I'm feeling like I'm missing in my wardrobe and maybe I need to add that one piece, or you already have it in your wardrobe and you just need to style more outfits around that one piece. For me personally, and I will be sharing a lot of personal anecdotes throughout this video so that you guys can kind of get an example of what I'm talking about, I realized I was missing a black oversized wool blazer, a black leather blazer, a gray pleated mini skirt, and a simple pair of white leather sneakers. When I realized that I was saving these items on repeat, clearly I realized that, okay, I think I'll be able to come up with a lot of different types of outfit ideas with these items. And that's kind of how you learn that, okay, not everything that you save one time or 2 times is necessarily for you. But if you see so many different outfits and you get drawn to each one over and over again, then that is probably something that you'll be able to get a lot of use out of once you buy it. Number 2 we are going to be discussing is typing keywords that represent your personal style. Using keywords that represent your personal style and your interests is really important because that is the best way to curate your Pinterest feed to your personal style. This could be a color scheme that you really like for yourself. For example, I've been really loving the combination of brown and green recently. So I've been looking up brown and green color combinations, brown outfits with a pop of green, and those kind of keywords have ended up giving me a lot of new ideas because I have a lot of pieces in those colors in my wardrobe. I just kind of wanted to see how other people are coming up with creative outfit ideas. So that has helped my creative process when I'm thinking of outfits. Other types of keywords that you could be looking up is model off-duty style, or there are keywords for genres and aesthetics that you might be interested in. For example, dark academia, light academia, 90s minimalist outfit ideas, boho, Y2K, just any kind of aesthetic that has caught your attention in the past or grabs your eye when you're out and about in the streets. You can look up anything and Pinterest will give you endless outfit ideas for those. You can be as specific as you want or as broad as you want, but obviously the more specific ones that you search, you get way more direct hits for the kind of things that you're looking for. Okay, the third item on the list that we're going to be discussing is avoid being sidetracked. This one is a little bit harder because Pinterest just has so many aesthetic types of videos and photos and things that grab my attention instantly. But a lot of the times, if I engage too much with the type of aesthetic that really doesn't represent me or is suitable for my lifestyle, I end up being sidetracked and sometimes I end up getting sucked into impulse purchases that just make no sense for my lifestyle. Like I used to purchase a lot more high-heeled boots and stilettos and these kind of shoes, and I was realizing that my collection of high heels was growing and I had very few occasions to wear them. So I realized, okay, maybe I should stop engaging with the very formal wear posts because as much as I would love to live a lavish life of parties and balls and those kind of things, I have very little need for ball gowns or high heels. Why would I be engaging so much with that kind of content? Now, if you want daydream content, go for it. Definitely engage in the kind of content that you want to see, but you have to be very realistic with yourself and think, am I trying to add things to my wish list or purchase list that are reasonable for my lifestyle and my needs? Or am I just adding these things because I'm seeing this very aesthetic photo and it's making me wish that I could be in this photo myself? Another example is if you are a minimalist dresser and you wear a lot of trousers and soft sweaters and things like that, and then you get a lot of exposure to maximalist outfits outfits, you might be tempted to make an impulse purchase and buy, I don't know, a gingham maxi skirt or a very cool statement belt, but it just will not go with the majority of the things you have in your closet, and therefore you will not get as much use out of this one item that you purchased impulsively, and that's always a bummer. Chances are when you make an impulse purchase like that, you might be able to recreate that one photo of that one outfit that you saw online, but because the item doesn't go with the majority of the stuff that you have in your wardrobe, you really are unlikely to get as much use out of that one piece, and those are always the biggest regrets in my shopping experience. All right, category number 4 is consider your lifestyle and occasions when saving pins. This item kind of goes hand in hand with the previous item, but this one is more like you are trying to be a very realistic version of yourself when you are scrolling, and you don't want to just get absorbed into the vibe of the photo. Sometimes when you're being realistic with yourself, you realize I might be aspiring to be like that girl in the photo. It's not necessarily the outfit or the shoes or the one item that you're seeing on her. Personally, I have experienced this in the form that certain looks grab my attention instantly, and it has me in a chokehold for days. I cannot get that outfit or that look out of my mind for the longest time. So that is why I have sympathy for people like that. But once you put that outfit together, you realize it is ultimately a very online outfit, and it won't pass the test for real life. You can't wear that to a normal cafe or walk out with that look. Now, I understand that we can all kind of dress out there to express ourselves with our own personal style, and that's okay. If that is personally how you like to dress, I would say go for it. But like myself, I'm more on the safe side with my outfits, but sometimes those outlandish outfits really speak to me. In another life, maybe I would put together more outfits like that, but in the Vancouver climate and in my surroundings, those outfits simply don't make any sense. Now, I do want to also note that inspo pictures are sometimes just a really good starting point for creating a new and creative outfit, but I think it's also important to keep in mind that depending on our jobs, hobbies, and even our environment we live in, we aren't necessarily able to recreate an outfit from an inspirational photo to a T, and that's fine. High five. High five. Thank you. Number 5, and arguably the most important area that we are going to be discussing today, is creating strategic boards on your Pinterest. This one I'm going to be drawing a lot from my personal experience because I want to show you guys how I get my inspiration. One of my favorite boards to visit on a regular basis is my aspirational file. This one contains a lot of looks and items that I don't currently have, or maybe it's a little bit more out there for my personal style, but I just like to look at it and keep in mind that if in the future I find something along these lines in the secondhand market, I'd be open to purchasing it, but I'm not going to go out of my way currently to acquire these pieces. It is simply aspirational. It doesn't necessarily fit my needs currently, but I don't mind looking at it and daydreaming about these items. Another really important board that I recommend any of us should make is outfits you can recreate or draw direct inspiration from. These ones are specifically items that you saved because you know you have an item just like that, and the rest of the outfit in the photo looks very similar to the items that you have in your wardrobe. So you could either very easily recreate that whole look with stuff that you already have. Keep that in mind. This is an important point. Or it's something that you could borrow from your sister, your mom. I simply love doing that. I have one board that's literally just recreate or emulate or something like that. That board is just a no-brainer when I have absolutely zero idea what I want to wear and I have no creativity left in me with the clothes that I already have. I go to that file and I'm like, you know what? I do have a blue cardigan and a white pair of jeans and black loafers. I will just recreate this whole outfit. Number 6, again, this one could go hand in hand with the previous point, but this one is creating occasion-specific and season-specific boards. Life is already so busy, so when seasons change or occasions pop up, you might want to have these boards ready so that you can just rely on them and not panic when you have a wedding coming up or when you have a birthday party coming up, a fancy dinner, a formal event of any kind. I have boards like this where I know that I have lots of saved pins for a rainy day. For example, this is not personal to me. I think I have seen a lot of people have like airport fashion outfits, Europe summer outfits, tropical outfit ideas. Those ones are always such a good idea. I don't know if I have any boards like that, but I would definitely recommend that if you have any events coming up, start saving right now. You're going to get more and more inspiration for it, and you're going to be set when the event comes around. Okay. Number 7 is more of a new thing, and it is making collages within the Pinterest app. I don't know exactly when this new feature started happening on Pinterest, but I was very surprised when I was able to pick and choose little items from different posts and kind of add them into one collage, and that serves as my inspiration going forward. The way I would recommend you doing this, I'm doing this currently with my future knitting project planning. I'm getting very aspirational already. I've had like 2 knitting projects so far, but I believe in myself. 2025 is going to be the year where I knit a whole sweater and possibly a vest because my sister keeps asking for a vest. I have been saving scarves and sweaters and simple knit items into one collage where I will potentially in the future refer back to this and find the specific patterns. I think these collages are such an important piece that Pinterest has implemented, because before you would have to go into other third-party apps to maybe create a collage or something, but now you don't even have to do that. You can do everything in the app and it's so easy and straightforward. Granted, I don't use this feature a whole lot. I just mostly save pins, but if you are into making your own collages or making things more personal, this is definitely a feature for you. It's also a really good way of accumulating multiple outfits using the same styling piece. For example, if you want to have a bunch of different outfits with a pair of linen pants or something, you can accumulate like 3 or 4 looks and have them all in the same collage so that it's like your go-to for styling those one pair of pants. Number 8, it's a really important one to me, and I saved it for last because I wanted to really go into this one, and that one is saving pins of items you already own. This one is a particular favorite of mine because I feel like when it comes to fashion or aspirational style, we might have the misconception that it's all about getting more and more, collecting more pieces, more funky pieces, new pieces, anything that you don't already have. But genuinely speaking, I find it so much more stylish when you play around with the items that you already have. That's the best way to really explore your personal style, because when you keep buying new items, you don't get to really explore that item for its full styling potential. You just wear it 1 or 2 times, you move on to the next piece. You just have so many items in your closet that you don't really get to wear it how it's not supposed to be worn. I don't know if you guys have seen those reels on TikTok and Instagram, one dress, but wear it all the ways it's not supposed to be worn. I really like those types of reels because it really shows you how you can think outside the box and think of creative ways to wear a skirt as a top as a skirt, have different layering pieces that makes it look very different. Genuinely speaking, I think this last item we're talking about is the best way to give new life to your old pieces. This one I think took me a bit longer to get the hang of, because when you're first on Pinterest, you feel like you're being drawn in all these different kinds of directions, but once you realize that you can actually be in control of what the algorithm shows you, that's when you can avoid falling victim to overconsumption. What you could do is just go to your closet, check out a few items that you haven't been styling as much because it's more of a styling challenge, or maybe it's something that you used to love but you just haven't really styled for a long time. Look up outfits with that particular item. Maybe you have a pair of tights in a color that you're not very comfortable styling. For example, let's say you have some purple tights that you're like, I don't know how to style this. The color is not something I gravitate towards. Okay, no problem. Hop onto Pinterest, search purple tights outfit ideas. Then just go from there. Keep clicking on the items that you think you have more similar items to, and the algorithm will keep showing you items similar to that one. This last point will never fail you because you won't even feel the need to shop more. You save your money and you come up with way more creative outfit ideas. So that is it for my 8 categories of how I think you can use Pinterest in 2025 to find your personal style. I hope this was helpful to you. The reason why I really wanted to get into this topic today was because I used to post a lot more TikToks with my Pinterest inspiration photos, and surprisingly I used to get a lot of questions of how do you get your Pinterest board to show you these types of things, what do you look for, and that kind of stuff. So I really wanted to make one video like this where I can really show you guys what I do to make the algorithm show me what I need to see, and how you could do the same for your algorithm as well. Let me know in the comments if there's a different way that you guys use Pinterest, because I love talking about Pinterest with people. It's genuinely one of my favorite apps to visit. Granted, I know it's been going through some changes recently. I think someone said that Pinterest is trying to become completely shoppable, like you can shop every pin. I don't necessarily love that a lot because it is just one of those apps where it's simply about inspiration. It was never about making a lot of purchases or anything like that. But like all things, consumerism ends up ruining it a little bit, but we can still make the most of it. There's still lots of inspiration to be had. Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in next week's video. Bye!